our side firmly believe that fast fashion have a negative benefit to all human beings. So if government reject fast fashion and ban it entirely, it can put the fashion industry into a more sustainable way, including more environmental friendly. Because nowadays fast fashion, it will be outdated very quickly, and there will be many waste materials, uh, all the chains of the industry of fashion will be more healthy and balanced. So our team stance is that fast fashion is very harmful and it will cause many problems. For example, pollution on Earth, and it will cause less sustainable lifestyle. So, more importantly, labor rights. So in this debate, if we can prove these problems indeed exist, we can win this debate. So first, let us know what is fast fashion. Fast fashion is those products with low price, but it will outdated very quickly, and its quality is always very low. Move on to my first point, which is labor rights. Fast fashion industry often has labor rights issues, such as low wages and long periods of working time with high pressure, and the working condition is often very poor. So, if governments ban all the fashion, fast fashion industry, the the treatment of laborers will be better, and it can protect labor's rights and interests. So, uh, so those industry will slowly switch onto a more sustainable way. That they will treat their workers better because the main core of fast fashion is quantity, but not quality. So boss requires worker to work for a long time, and the main core of sustainable fashion is in contrast quality. So the working period will be shorter because the boss want them to have a good rest and be more energetic to produce more beautiful clothes. Because even though you made a lot of the clothes in a short period, people will not buy it because the quality is not good. And secondly, it will encourage sustainable fashion, as I mentioned before. So government resistance fast fashion can help to encourage sustainable fashion. Uh, so this including encouraging environmental friendly materials, and government will support these companies who is responsible for their brand and who also contribute for the whole chain of the of fashion industry. And this will definitely cause more people buying the sustainable products other than those fast fashion products. And as a government, we want to say this. And thirdly, it will switch consumers' awareness of how they buy products. So if government boycotts all fast fashion products, people's mind will be switched. So they used to choose fast fashion products because it's cheap, and they totally ignore the quality of fast fashion products. But they only consider that they can save money. But the truth is that they can't save money because fast fashion products are always outdated very quickly. So they need to buy a tons of it to gain their support. So in general, there are two major impacts. The firstly is labor will be more happier of their working conditions, and they will be more happier to work. And secondly, it will switch the whole industry into a more sustainable one, and will avoid it will also switch people's mind, and it will consider as more aspect when they buy those products. And this is the reason for why you should voting for pro side. Thank you.
As the opposition, we believe that we should not ban the sale of fast fashion. First, I'm going to begin with a rebuttal that our opponent has said that banning the fast fashion may be beneficial to labor rights, that people work in a poor condition and they work hard for a long time, but only get a very low income. But they haven't think about why people haven't changed the situation and why can they change their job. This is because they are not able to change because of their ability or educated record was not high enough for them to get a higher income job. And so that then this may moves to my first point that banning the sale of fast fashion may not let the workers to be happier, but actually this may cause unemployment. So the workers working in these factories may not learn about some fully technical things, and which help them to earn more money, so that they can only and they can only get this job and earn a small amount of money, so that and and it's also very clearly that they really need this job to maintain their life or maybe their family. So that if people ban the fast fashion, then that they may since they were not enough educated for a better job, so that they may not have a chance for a better job instead of this low but sweatful job. So that also, since these products are very cheap, so that and yes.
Since you earlier said in rebuttal that banning fast fashion, they can just change a job, why are you now saying that these jobs are so important for them?
No, I'm saying that they can change their job, since that they may not have enough higher education to change the job. So that, and also since these products are very cheap and it can be sold out easy to the public, and which have a large marketing, so that everyone can afford these things, and so that these factory may produce a lot of clothes, which also I think means that these companies have a lot of workers, so that if people ban these factories, and then that a lot of workers with not enough higher education may lose their job, and they cannot find another one. And second, banning fast fashion may decrease the chance of normal people to buy beautiful clothes. That since these clothes are very cheap, people most of the people can afford these things, and which is very suitable to the public and to normal workers. So that but for other, and so that if people ban the fast fashion, then that they're only left with some clothes in the market that not everyone can afford it. So that and so that which is unfair for the workers, for normal workers who cannot afford these things. And so that also, if people ban these things, these fashion suddenly, then that it will cause a sudden monopoly on the market, so that nobody will be suited to the situation without fast fashion clothes. So that maybe there will even have a black market, which is very harmful to customers and also the safety of society. So overall, that's why we believe that we should not ban the sale of fast fashion.
So first, as the second speaker of the proposition, I'm very proud to affirm. So I'll go on to my rebuttal and also a rebutting, because they countered our argument with their argument of unemployment. So I want to talk about this because we can just let the workers do jobs that are very close to what they have done, which is making clothing. Because what they have not counted on is that when we ban these fast fashion, then the industry which gives out clothes that is better for the environment, then it will have more space for workers, because more people are buying this type of clothing, meaning that these workers who lost their jobs when we banned fast fashion, they could get new jobs making clothing that is beneficial for the environment. And their second claim is that people can afford fast fashion. Again, fast fashion, like my partner has already mentioned, is worn out quickly. And so the total money people spend is about the same, because they have to buy the clothing a lot of times repeatedly, because when they buy fast fashion, the clothes is quickly worn out, which means that all in all, when our opponents are only comparing one clothing rejected one clothing compared to comparing one clothing, they do not count on the total amount of money spent. And so that means that total on the whole basis, then people actually spend about the same money. They also mentioned the black market, and I want to say that the market is the rejected. The black market is the problem for law enforcement and not this law. So this still doesn't stand. So this black market point doesn't stand. So now onto my claim. Fast fashion pollutes the environment. There are two reasons why this is true. Reason one, fast fashion uses materials that harm the environment. The main purpose of fast fashion is to be quick at producing and make the materials as cheap as possible. This means that companies will not consider environmental impacts and will use materials to harm that are harmful to the environment. For example, many fast fashion companies use toxic dyes, which pollutes large amounts of water. And the second reasoning is that fast fashion clothing wastes a lot of material because fast fashion is made in large amounts, but companies cannot sell everything. So these unsold clothing will not be sustainable for very long. And so that means they cannot be sold after a while. And so this means that companies will have to throw them away. On top of that, even if the clothing was bought by customers, it will also be worn out even faster. And so that means it will be repeatedly thrown away. So there are two impacts of this argument. So the first impact is that manufacturing fast fashion clothing pollutes the environment with harmful chemicals, and this can damage ecosystems. The second impact is that clothes are thrown away and clothes that are thrown away take very long times to break down and emit a lot of greenhouse gases in the process. An example is nylon, which emits large amounts of greenhouse gases when it is breaking down. And usually for this material, it takes about like 30 to 40 years for it to break down as well. So this means that fast fashion contributes to global warming as well as damages to the environment. And this is also an inevitable effect of it. So therefore, please vote for the proposition. Thank you.
Greetings all. As the second speaker of the opposition team, I would like to first rebut what the previous speakers have mentioned. First of all, they have mentioned that fast fashion is not beneficial for the environment. We agree that every manufacturing will lead to pollution, but however, we believe that fast fashion will lead to attraction of investment. So therefore, because since there are investments, then the company can use the money from the investments in order to save the environment and or improve the working conditions. So therefore, the point of environmental friendly does not stand. Then second of all, they have mentioned about labor rights, but we believe that as my previous speaker have mentioned, that some of the workers work in the sweatshops may not have the access to other working conditions, such as the most workers on the sweatshops are females. But if they are not participate in the sweatshop, then they will go to agricultural industries, but which the working conditions is much more terrible than the sweatshops. We also want to mention that even though the sweatshop's wage is low and the working hour is long, but however, this is only lower than the Western standard, which means that in these developing nations, the wages or the working out conditions is a normal conditions and they can earn wages in order to have the access to healthcare and get the freedom to choose whatever they want to. Then we also want to mention about the unemployment. So as I just said, that some female don't have the access to others, or if they don't get a job, then they will stay at home because this is the fact that women got less work less than men. So therefore yes.
Do you think how severely does sexual abuse harm the fast clothing industry?
So yeah, we believe that since the world the fact is that less women are working rather than men. So the truth is in the sweatshop, most of them are female. So if female don't get a job in the sweatshop, then if they will like have no jobs or like working in a much more terrible working conditions, which we both don't want to see and wants to like solve this issue. Then last but not the least, they have mentioned about like the fast fashion ignore the quality and like cannot help save money. However, we believe that customers have the right to choose if they want to buy fast fashion or not. Well, some of the people, that is true that they don't even care about the quality. They love this like t-shirt and they just wear it. Every clothes wear by us will be thrown away. So therefore, the point of like damaging the ecosystem does not clearly stand. Then like we want to like said that this should not be banned because customers have the availability and the right to choose whatever they want, which gives all like human being a right because the right of freedom. So in conclusion, we believe that we benefit the customers, the workers, and the including the whole industry and including the economy. So therefore, we shall win this debate. Thank you.
Hello everyone, the third proposition speaker of this debate. In my speech, I'm going to go two clash comparisons and some words to the judge. First thing I'm starting my clash comparison. The first clash, Sarah proposition believes the most important is that this fast fashion industry actually harm workers in this industry. Sarah proposition believes that the fast fashion industry has too frequent change of fashions, which means that these workers will have the harms below. Firstly, they will get lower frequent pay because according to the means of fast fashion industry, the pay is according to this buyer of fashion, which means that in this specific time, they will only get this amount of money, which means that these workers, because of the profits are low, will get less pay. Secondly, we believe that these qualities of fast fashion are harmful since it is cheap and also fast. We believe the quality is probably bad, which leads to the harms below. First, it will harm the workers that produce these fast fashion materials. Secondly, it will harm the customers who buy these fast fashion materials and getting the harms by physically. Thirdly, in the overall, it will harm the overall environment and giving a bad. No, I don't expect it. But the opposition believes that fast fashion is more somehow simple, and it will somehow women workers are more interested in fast fashion industries. So banning fast fashion will somehow make women lose their jobs. However, proposition wants to counter this by saying that firstly, women workers can't work in all industries. Fast fashion industries, yes, we indeed understand that it might be a part of women industry, but these women workers can go literally to any other industries. Opposition also believes that these workers, because of their grades, cannot to other industries. But how we counter that? Because fast fashion industry isn't the lowest industry that these workers with not good enough grades can go to. They can still go to other industries, which means that their idea is now countered. Now, the second side proposition believes important is that these fast fashion actually harm the consumers. So proposition believes that the bad quality and cheap prices will lead to cheaper things, which means that these consumers will get harmed. So opposition believes that is fast fashion, so they get more fashion percent, and also they believe that no, sorry. Also they believe that these will be cheaper. However, fast fashion isn't just on cheap. There are other cheaper products than just buying fast fashion products. Some products, for example, in China, Guangdong, are even more cheap than those fast fashion products. But those fast fashion products have lower quality than those products, which are even cheaper. Now I'm going to have some words to Judge. Judge, do you believe that these fast fashions are actually going to save the now lagging economy? These fashion products are just going to make the economy worse. These people are trying to buy these products again and again, even though they're cheap. But the whole amount of expenditures are higher than buying those even cheaper products, which means that fast fashion is a great threat to the coming economy. Therefore, side proposition surely believes that we should ban fast fashion products. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I am the third speaker of the opposition team, and I want to start my speech by giving a quick rebuttal. So first of all, our opponents are saying that like again, fast fashion can harm workers, but we think that is not true because as we said, what you are talking about, the low wage is based on the Western standard, but most fast fashion is in developing nations, so it is so compared with other jobs in developing nations that we think it offers a quite high salary. And then yes.
In developing nations, fast fashion clothes will be sold even cheaper because it is still a developing nation. So the rate of wages will still be the same.
No, we're saying that the salary is the wage is lower than a Western standard, but that doesn't mean like so like even if you're saying that it is less like it is not about like whether the fast fashion is sold like cheaper or more expensive. It is about like the wage is actually compared as the Western standard, but that like but but since they're in developing nations, compared with other jobs that's offered in developing nations, it offers a quite high salary. And moving on, they're saying that it is the fast fashion, the clothes in fast fashion has bad quality, but we think that the customer got the choice to choose whether they want to buy fast fashion or not. So that some people just like the t-shirt and then they won't care so much about the quality, as my teammate also mentioned. And then you are also saying that it can harm the environment and it can cause pollution. But like every industry can have harm to the environment, and then well, we're saying that there is a economy growth and there's economic benefits, which means that they can use the money to help not now to help develop the nation's environment, which means that it will not be a great problem because there is actually no such industry that can both have a economic growth and it's 100% economic friendly. And then we want to I think this debate mainly come to one clash point, which is whether it is better for the workers or not. That we think it can offers a worker an access to healthcare, and then it is also a training for the workers, since most of the workers are female in fast fashion, that it is a good chance for them to like it is a good chance for them to earn a certain wage, and then for them to train themselves, and then it is probably the best work offered. And then I want to ask our opponent that what's your solution, like if you're banning fast fashion, what's your solution to the women that may be that the workers that may be employed and that they may not be able to get other job, and then like there's not economic growth? What's your solution for that?
Greetings again, Judge. We want to emphasize that in the economic growth stage, pollution is inevitable. Even though the working condition is harsh, but compared to other industry we have listed, it's still better than the others. So here are 3 questions we want all of the judges to think about. So moving to another job, how is it different compared to the current situation of the worker, like the factories?
and how customers can be harmed if the customers gets the right to choose whatever they want to wear, and how can it affect the workers if they get the access to healthcare and education. So we want to clarify that our point about the woman working in the sweatshop is not gender stereotypes, but it's the truth. We are calling for women empowerment rather than just saying that they cannot go to any works. Because if they work in the shop, they work in the factory, sorry, they can get rights by working in the industry and get money in order to get the access to healthcare, education, and even like every rights they can, and including freedom. Judge, imagine a world that every customers gets whatever they want to, and they get the availability. The shop is everywhere, they can get easily. And imagine another world that workers most of the people get unemployed, and the customers only got a little amount of choices, and they can get to. Which one did you prefer? And in our world, we are not saying that like pollution, like there's no pollution, but in order to like make the economy better, then pollution, there is still pollution and it's inevitable. So therefore, to sum up, since we have rebutted all of their arguments and they have not fully rebut all of our points, including the lower than the Western standards and the developing nation thing about related to the sweatshops. So therefore, we believe that we should win this debate. Thank you.
So I would like to do a basic run through of all the arguments and rebuttals listed in today's debate. So first, let's look at our opponent's arguments. Our opponent's argument is something that they've been trying to tell us throughout the whole debate, that is unemployment. So both the second speaker and the third speaker of our side have already repeatedly told them that there are jobs out there are industries out there that will expand when we ban fast fashion, because the whole market has changed. And that means that there will be jobs available for them that are very similar to what they have done before, which means that they can still make clothing and even get better pay. Our opponents have also mentioned the claim about people being able to afford fast fashion, which we have already rebutted using saying that fast fashion is worn out quickly, so the total cost is about the same, which they have not managed to rebuild afterwards. Let's look at our side's claims. Our side's first claim is about labor rights. Our opponents have only countered this argument with their own argument about unemployment. So when we take into consideration that their argument has already been rebutted, our argument still stands, and they have not been able to. They have not rebutted our argument about banning fast fashion being able to change people's view of what products they should buy. And so our third claim is that pollution will decrease, and our opponents have only mentioned against this that all clothing will pollute, while we are constantly saying that fast fashion pollutes more because the materials it uses are more unsustainable, and so people will be throwing away more material. And so this means that this claim still stands. So secondly, I would like to do a world comparison. So in our world, we are banning fast fashion. So these people who are used to work, who are used to being in labor, now get better jobs with higher pay, and the environment is being benefited because global warming is slowing down, and the water is cleaner because fast fashion was a large pollutant of it. But then in our opponent's world, the world now, then fast fashion is still going on. These people are still getting a very low pay. And so this means that because we have rebutted all of our opponent's arguments and our claims still stand, please vote for the proposition. Thank you.